Right, gonna make this one a quick one, but I've come up with a way of looking at. Um, I've came up with a plan, and rather fittingly, now I'm doing the project management course. I've fit it according to how programs work. Like, so a program has included within it projects, and then each of those projects are completed along the program. So I've come up with a program for the rest of this year, which is one, I continue working at the coffee shop I work at until like the end of when is it? The end of August, and then I phase two. I go on holiday for about basically like 3 months, and then phase three, I then come back and start laying the foundations for everything. And so it also goes into what Alex Mosey talks about with like seasons. So each will have like its own like projects that I need to complete, or I don't need to, but I want to complete within them. And being able to lay out things like that means that I don't have to then worry like thinking, oh, I've got to do everything all at once. It's okay. We'll get to this thing when we need to get to it. We'll get to it then. So from now until the end of August, these basically half of June, July, August, like kind of 2.5 months, they're going to be dedicated to just working at the coffee shop and working on my driving and working on my project management course, so I can get them out of the way. So this means that I am sacrificing everything else, like diet, like a bit of like more kind of like health stuff. Like I'm neglecting a lot of kind of almost even like my hygiene and stuff, because I'm not like investigating it. Like, my hair's falling out, it's thinning, but I'm not focusing on that at the moment. That will come later. So the projects that are included here is Project Get Tom a Car, Project Get Tom a Job, and also the project like Help Oliver Out, who's like a guy who like lives in Warwick, who's like a homeless person, and I want to try and help him be able to get first universal credit, and then a place to stay, and then a job to like keep him in the place he wants to stay at, and then maybe hopefully like friends as well after. But obviously a lot of that's out of my control. And then, so those are the kind of the 3 projects I'll be working on. There's also a pre-phase 1 kind of phase in itself, which I might as well just call like phase 1 or phase 0, and that's what I'm doing at the moment, where I'm planning out the trip to Japan, and I'm planning out the trip that me and Pra will do, like in our own time as well. Ooh, do not want to get that. Okay. So yeah, so that might bite in probably about a week, maybe even more. And already I'm kind of like starting to get a bit anxious about that. Like, will I meet the deadline or not? And I'm starting to worry about that. So, I mean, I do feel a little bit uneasy about that, but apart from it, I've given myself a lot of time. So, and then pre-phase 1 is like me booking all the stuff to do with Japan and booking the stuff to do with our own holiday, and like planning out all the things we're going to do. What I want to do maybe is, if our trip to Japan is successful, and if it's successful for our holiday, I might make a video just detailing how I've researched and gone about doing the trips that I've done, and like put that into a formalized process so that anyone else could follow that if they wanted to. And then yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So that's pre-phase 1. Then you've heard phase 1, and then there's phase 2, which is us going on holiday. And I didn't really know what to do with this time, because originally I was thinking, like, what got me out of that rut, because of, you know, in the Castaway video or whatever, I was in a rut. And what was bothering me was that I didn't really know how to, like, everything I was looking at was a negative, whereas there's quite a few positives. I was thinking to myself, okay, well, if I leave the coffee shop, I'm going to be broke, and me and Pra aren't not going to have enough money, and then like there's a whole lot of problems with that, and the restraints, and we won't be able to do the things we want to do, blah blah blah. Or if I stay there, I'm going to be miserable. And then I was thinking, well, every single day that I spend there is just going to make my mental health worse, and then I'm going to be in a worse position when I do leave, and then there's going to be so many other things I've got to catch up with when I leave, and so in a certain way both of those are true, but I didn't need to focus on them. Like, you can take like a Where's Wally big, you know, like, or Where's Waldo or whatever, and you can take one of their like books, and you could get an A4 piece of paper and then cut a little hole or circle in it, and you can put that circle anywhere on the page, and you're going to get a different thing that's like being focused on. And it's just like life as well. Like, I could focus on the point that like that I'm going to have less money, so we are going to be limited more, or I could focus on the benefits. It doesn't mean that I don't notice that there's these like setbacks and that there are these benefits. It's if I focus on it, if I keep on returning back to it. So what I've concluded is ultimately that me and Prague can make, like, we can make things work. We can be very very frugal with our money, and worst comes to worst, I do find another job somewhere. But my head was just filled so much with all these, like, here's the problem, here's another problem, here's another problem, that it just put me in this depressed mood where I was just thinking this way. So one of the things, that's one of the things I'm trying to do, is just see if I can see a different focus, and what are some of the beliefs that are holding me back that could be seen in a different light, from a different perspective. And sometimes you need other people to remind you of that as well. So I started seeing me leaving Coffee One as actually a benefit, because sure, we're going to have less money, but like, then I'm going to start being able to improve my life. So originally the idea was that we'd leave Coffee One, and then we'd have about a month to be able to like start doing all the other projects, like Project Improve My Hygiene, like don't have all this crap over my face, and like with that improve sleep, Project Diet, Project Sleep, Project Gym, Project etc. Like Project Mental Health, like I'd do one of those courses, like that free course that's on Coursera, that's like a well-being or something, the science of well-being, I think it's that. So I was kind of going to do all of these, like, you know, all of these things that leave a great like groundwork for everything else. But it looks like we're going to be going on holiday for we're going to go on holiday 4 times over like 4 months, and each one's like kind of 2 weeks or just over like a week. So it kind of feels like we'll be going and then coming back for a week, and then going somewhere else, and then coming back for a week. And so I kind of got a bit bugged, because I was thinking, okay, well, I mean, I guess that's just time when we can't do any projects, we can't do anything, and I was like, well, that's kind of a shame, but I'll come back to that. So now, once we come back, we'll come back like maybe kind of towards the end of November. So I'll get back in, and me and Prav decided that we're probably not going to move to another city next year. We're thinking that if I get a job here, then, you know, we'll basically pay like almost no rent with the money that we do get, because essentially like the income that I'll get will be the equivalent of the income I'm getting from the coffee shop and the income that Pra's getting. So I'll just fund us. Pra will be able to go and like see her friends. Like, she won't be working, so she'll have far more time to be able to go and do these things. And like, yeah, bits that will bite into our budget are like cars, and stuff like that. But it will also give us a chance to be able to spend a year travelling, like, you know, maybe every other weekend travelling somewhere in the UK, or maybe every 3 weekends travelling somewhere, and having like, you know, something like being able to spend an extended weekend in 3, like, or maybe, you know, maybe 13 different like towns or cities in the UK. That'd be great. And then we can get really good understanding and feeling about different areas, and like, you know, like, I guess learn about the history of each area or something. Then potentially, like, in 2026, we then move to a new country and, like, I don't know, you know, have that kind of experience, I guess, and probably get married as well. Yeah. Or maybe we get married before, so then it'd make moving to a new country easier. Could do that, yeah. What else? So yeah, so returning back in November, and having the end of November and the start of December, and basically until I start my job, that will be all time where it will just be dedicated to all of the foundation things, improving my, you know, my hygiene, so that I don't have spots all over my face, that my hair isn't thinning, so that I know what to do with a beard, so that, like, it's kind of like, so it's kind of white, like it gets much whiter than that. I've got like spots all over my body because I've got like excess yeast on me, like in general, like just overall, like improve my deodorant, find some kind of like natural deodorant that like smells good, is you know, sustainable for me, and then like all that stuff. Improving diet, coming up with like, you know, a list of like going on essentially a eliminative diet and just focusing on finding out what works, and doing the same for Pra as well, Bubs. Yeah. So yeah, and then yeah, improving sleep and improving mental health, and like I'm genuinely just so excited for that. Like I feel like that would be so exciting. Yeah, and so then it kind of leaves this big gap where you're thinking, okay, well we're gonna go away for like kind of like 3 months or so. Like, are we just gonna have to put all our projects on hold? Well, no. The projects we can focus on then are ones about like learning new things about cultures. Like, it's almost like the research phase. It's where I can probably bring a whole load of my books with us, and I can read them and reflect, and like it's really a lot of my time to just learn stuff, like learn about the environment we're around, and just like, yeah, learn new things in that way. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and do most of my reading in the next 3 months after the next 2 months. Well, yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking, and it's got me, feeling much more motivated because I've broken everything down into individual tasks. So now, rather than thinking that I've got to improve my health, I've got to improve my hygiene, I've got to improve my relationships with my friends, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Right now, all I have to do is go, okay. When I wake up, I've got like 3 things I need to do. Well, at the moment, I've only got to do basically like 1 thing now. I've done Japan. Like we've got to finalize a couple of things like hotels and stuff, but yeah, like everything else is like I've only now got to wake up, and when I come to do things, I've only got to just like plan out the holiday that me and Babs are going to go on. And it's almost, I feel like I get anxious when I have extra time. I've been so used to the whole of my life not having any time to do anything extra, so that I feel like when I have extra time, it's because I'm fucking up and I need to do something. So it's really weird, like, to have that extra time. Like, I feel anxious in it. But yeah, I should probably come to like, I think I'm going to try and learn to appreciate that extra time. But yeah, doing things this way is like, I think to myself, okay, the only things I've got to focus on is like, yeah, getting this holiday booked. And so I end up completing tasks so much quicker. Like, I've probably been doing Japan for like 4 days, like full days, like, working at it 6 hours every single day, getting it done, maybe even more, and it's done. And it's like, that literally would have taken me months and months and months if I hadn't just sat down and gone, right, the only thing I'm going to focus on for this next bit is just this. So I think I'm just going to basically just do that for everything. Just going to sit down and go, okay, this is the projects I need to just work on. I've got like, after I book mine and Pra's holiday thing, I'll have 3 projects. One's booking car like lessons and learning to drive, another one's doing the project management, and the other one's like looking up how to help Ollie out. One of those is just literally just like booking lessons, which I can do. The other one is something that will kind of be on and off, and then I've got like, I've just got to navigate that. That's all really. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're moving out of phase organise the house. There's still things I need to do, like I want to get curtains for my room and like new curtains for the bathroom, and we've still got to like decorate the walls, and we've still got to make it feel comfortable, and we've still got to keep even tidy because it's just messy. But apart from that, like, it's basically done. But yeah, so we're now moving out of phase, tidy the house and get everything in its right place, and we're now moving into the projects of like pre-phase 1, which is just holiday planning, phase 1, which is grinding and working, phase 2, which is holiday and learning, and then phase 3, which is implementation and attention to detail in setting up the finer things. So yeah, hope you guys are doing well. I'm incredibly lucky that I can do stuff like this, and that I'm in the position that I'm in, and I hope that this brought some value to your life. Love you. Oh, I know. I also hope it. I probably haven't talked about it like too much, but I hope it also shows how I was able to go from feeling like nothing was possible and every single opportunity was a hassle or a problem or impacted something else in a negative way, And I hope that this has showed how I've been able to get out of that by being able to essentially I think I basically just got out of it by being able to whip up this idea of how the future would be that was convincing enough that I got excited. You know, the idea that I could like work for a short amount of time. Probably hate it, like I did. Like I was at work today and I just couldn't be asked, but I find it annoying. But then just that, having that core belief, like that super strong belief that things are going to get better, that I'm going to be able to sit at home and I'm going to be able to do essentially just the Hamza fairy tale of we're going to have enough money and I'm just going to sit at home and just learn and just keep on learning and just keep on improving every part of my life. That belief and then just imagery and story in my head is so motivating that I'm now excited to go forward. So that's how I've been able to move from how I was to how I am now, and I hope that all those the linear step-by-step process of everything in my life and how it's being implemented, I hope it's helpful or useful in whatever way. Yeah. Well, I love you guys. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you guys around.